When I think about Carnival, I always think about the Malasada booth. And you think of these little pieces of dough that get put into these big vats of oil. And through the cooking process, you know, they're sort of suspended in the oil, and there's all these bubbles that come off of them. And, you know, it's almost like this magical process where you see these little lumps of white dough turn into these golden malasadas that people take out. And they come out by the hundreds, and there's an army of people there, and they're all standing around the fryers, students and alumni and parents, and everyone's working together to generate thousands of malasadas during the course of the Punahou Carnival. And there's sort of like this connection, you know, for us, and then this sort of connection between, you know, the malasadas and, you know, having this energy to transform. In the glass shop, we're using the Malasada oil to go and you know, transform raw materials into colored glass. I had been always thinking about some way to involve my Glass 2 class in a project that involved some kind of furnace building, so that they could sort of get an idea of what it takes to go and build a furnace and how simple and complex, you know, the whole thing can be, and give them an idea of like what it takes to run a furnace. And glassblowers are just, you know, always conscious about their fuel costs because it's our #1 expense. Our furnace has a oil nozzle in it that uses compressed air to go and turn it into a fine mist, and that mist sort of like works like gas in a carburetor, and that fine mist is then combustible. So any of that kind of liquid fuel for us is useful. It does need to go through a sort of like a quote-unquote refining process, but basically what we're doing is we're just taking out any kind of particulate matter that is left over from the cooking process. For us, the really big attraction is that it's something that's headed for the landfill. And when we go and use it in glassblowing, obviously it doesn't go into the landfill, so it's one less thing that actually ends up in the landfill. And it's something that we're using twice. For someone to go out and use it as cooking oil, and then for us to repurpose it as a fuel to power a glass furnace, you know, is just, you know, a good way or a smart way to use a material. From a sustainability standpoint, reusing or repurposing Malasada oil is basically just a win-win situation. Both maybe from my standpoint and definitely from the students' standpoint, because they know about the Malasada booth. Many of them have worked in that booth, and or heard about people who've worked in it, or they have friends that have worked in it, or maybe their families have worked in that booth. Everyone knows exactly where it's coming from and what it's been used for before. So to see it being transformed and repurposed for something that they're going to go and later on use to make an object, I think is a real powerful part of the experience. There's just some kind of attraction about being able to take something that is going to be junk for someone and then being able to utilize it